Today's episode, we're gonna get the SLR fixed and back home. Last week's episode, I was gallivanting all around Scottsdale and Phoenix, enjoying Arizona Car Week. I had an amazing time, saw some amazing cars, didn't win any, but I had a lot of fun along the way. Unfortunately, towards the end, the car started acting up. A buzzing sound from the engine, a dropping voltage of the battery, and then a red light on the dashboard, as well as a temporarily discontinuing all convenience feature. So pretty smoking gun that I had an alternator issue. I then hooked up a multimeter and found for sure it's not charging while running. So I know the problem. Now I just need to figure out a way home. So I'm gonna start with the dealership. I never go to the dealership. It's always too expensive, but in this case, if they have a trained tech and they can get me in quick, it's maybe worth paying a little extra for that. If not, I'll shop around, see if I can find an Indy qualified to work on this car, or I'll have it shipped home and then I'll fly home, which is a little tricky both because I have work and I have my dog with me. But either way, we're gonna figure it out in this episode, starting with the Scottsdale Mercedes dealership. They did confirm they have an SLR trained tech, so let's just see how bad this maintenance will be, and we'll take it from there. All right, I just called Scottsdale Mercedes. They have an SLR trained tech. They said they want to get it in and out quick to bring it immediately. So we're a couple miles into the drive. I'm hoping it makes it. I've had it on the trickle charger the last 36 hours, give or take. Definitely making that whining noise from up above, which again has to be an alternator. Red battery lights on, convenience features temporarily disabled, but I've got no headlights, no electronics, no radio, no heater, anything like that. So we're gonna hope it makes it all the way there without breaking down, and then hope they can get it in and out before too long. But fingers crossed here, this is only a day or two setback and I'm not a permanent Arizona resident. We made it to Mercedes-Benz of Scottsdale, so part one of the journey is complete. It made it here. Next to see my service advisor and hope they can squeeze me in and get me in and out pretty quickly. But so far, I'm pretty happy I made it. How baller is that? It even says VIP. All right, we're picking up the car. I declined the service. The estimate was $9,000 in labor, but it could be a little less or a little bit more. They can't promise, but needed pre-authorization for $9,000 in labor. $300 an hour, that's 30 hours to do an alternator, which seems about 27 hours more than I would have guessed. $3,500 for the parts. The Bosch unit's $400. The Mercedes one is $1,300. So seems like the parts are also 3x what I would expect. So I'm gonna take it over to an Indy who feels like they can fix it, but we'll keep fighting the good fight. If not, I'm gonna ship it back to San Diego, take it back to my boys at HG and let them take care of it. All right, it actually ended up being $4 grand for the parts. Taking over to the Indy, it's about 6 miles. However, the battery depleted as I drove it to the Mercedes dealership, which means I'm now worried I'm not going to make it the 4 or 5 miles I need to the Indy. So it says battery / alternator stop car. I'm watching on my OBD2 Autel dongle, and I'm at like 11 volts. So I'm trying to like rev it and drive it hard so that if any bit of that alternator is still working, it'll go. But this is sketchy, driving Scottsdale with a broken car that could break down at any moment. Fingers crossed I make it. I can also hear the alternator whine, but tune back in. I'm not gonna film anymore because I'm too freaked out until I get there, and hopefully I don't need a tow ride, but we'll call AAA if we do. And just so you can see what I'm seeing there, battery / alternator. Yippee! I'm now less than 10 minutes away, so I'm feeling good, and the car is now saying a little over 11 volts, so I think I'm gonna make it. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. By the way, do you ever just normalize weird stuff? Like my friend group is like laughing at me because they're like, your dude in an SLR, like limping it around different shops, maybe dying in the middle of the street. And I'm just like, this is normal car stuff. Like this doesn't seem like crazy at all to me. Maybe that's why they call me Crazy Nick, but like, I just feel like this is what you do, whether it's an SLR or a $2,000 hoopty, like you just figure it out. And this is me figuring it out. It's just in a little bit more expensive of a car, but I am 1 mile away from the shop. I think I'm gonna make it. The car is not happy. I'm also just like downshifting and riding the RPMs higher as opposed to just driving crazier, but I think I'm gonna make it. Almost there. I made it all the way to the shop. This cool car owned by the owner, and it won't start to pull it into the bay. So Jump Box to the rescue. Wolf Box, a channel sponsor. Thank you guys. I actually paid for this with my own money, but that should get us into the garage. Well, I just got a call from the mechanic. The good news is the alternator is out. The plot twist is it was a remanufactured unit, which means it's not the original alternator. So somehow this car's gone through it will be on its third alternator in 6,600 miles. It also probably tells me that the remanufactured unit was kind of crappy because it should have lasted a lot longer than that. Maybe the first one went out when the electrical fault happened and that probably got fried then. So I kind of get that, but like, yikes, 3 alternators in under 7,000 miles isn't a good track record. The guy was unable to get the alternator out with the radiator still in, so we had to drain the coolant. But I got the car to him at like 1 in the afternoon. He tells me at 5 p.m. everything's removed. So realistically, once you get the parts, it should take about the same amount of time to put it back together, which means he's going to be in it maybe 10 hours tops. So I think I'll do a lot better than the $13,000 Mercedes-Benz wanted. And he just texted me back as I'm filming this saying, I hope so, when I asked him if it'll be done tomorrow. So fingers crossed. All right, so I'm picking it up from Vlad.
Yay.
He stayed till 8 o'clock last night at least, right?
Yeah, it was 8:30 when we left.
Yeah, got in early and you got me turned around. So Mercedes quoted a month that they would need the car. You had it for what, 36 hours? Not that? Day and a half?
That. You came in at what, 1 o'clock yesterday?
Yeah.
Roughly, and it's, I don't know what time it is. It's almost 2, so 24 hours.
Yeah, hey, that's right, 24 hours. So if you need help, VRV Auto Repair, 24-hour alternator changes on an SLR, your money back.
SLRs, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You can probably do it quicker next time.
Probably.
What do you think working on this compared to a normal M113K Mercedes?
Actually, I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
Every screw was going in so smooth, and it's all nice. The car's clean, so I would prefer working on this one than the white E55 there in the back.
Yeah, that one's a cool one too, though. I admired it.
It is a cool one, but it has 200,000 miles on it. Somebody was neglecting oil leaks and whatnot, so it's a little bit of a mess in there.
That's what we do in the Land Rover community too.
Oh.
Yeah. We're back! I have no battery warning light on. My radar detector is hardwired too. Just wrapped up my interview there with Vlad, but super pleased. And the bill was $2,400. My shop, my indie back in San Diego, who I adore, HG Motorsports, shout out, was a little bit more expensive, $3,300. Mostly just labor rates are, I think, $240 an hour in San Diego and like $165 here, so that's hard to compete there. But more importantly, Vlad got it done in 24 hours, and then the Scottsdale Mercedes wanted a month and $13,000 to do the same job. So saved, oh man, over $10,000 compared to the dealership, and saved about $1,000 over doing it in San Diego. So I really appreciate it. I gave Vlad a little tip too because he worked late and he got it done. So, oh, missed the sound of that car. I'm heading home now to my in-laws rather, to get my dog, all my stuff, get this car loaded up, and then try to hit the road and get home for bedtime tonight with the kiddos. But thanks for watching part 2 of my Arizona Car Week adventure, breaking down in an SLR, and then getting it all fixed and back on the road before too long. Definitely gave me a little stress and consternation, but it's, whoop, that's the radar. The radar detector's loud. Holy crap, that scared me. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the journey, and hopefully it is a smooth sailing home. I will probably record a little bit of that drive, especially if anything breaks, but we'll record a little bit of the fun because I love road trips on this car, but hopefully it's uneventful and a pretty boring rest of the video from here on out. We are 1 hour into the trip and have not gone very far. New hardwired radar detector is working great, and this seems to be why I've been crawling for a while, so sucks to be these guys. I hope everyone's okay. 2 hours in, the car's doing fine. I'm gonna make it home, flexing with this Arizona sunset. Car's been amazing, the people have been amazing. Thank you, Arizona. Thank you, VRV. Thank you to all the cool people I met. I'm having a blast, and now it's time to make some time and get home. Views on views. We made it 1,050 miles, 49.6 for the entire Arizona Car Week. And let's see, this trip, we averaged 70 miles an hour, 5.5 hour drive home, and 14.8 miles per gallon. So another great road trip in the SLR. a great adventure, and me and the dog are making it home safe. So thank you and shout out to everyone that helped me get home. Peace. Now we're home sweet home. The car did great. I've even taken it on another drive since getting it home. So 1,100 miles, all said and done. Alternator's fine. No leaks, no issues. But one last thing to do before we wrap up this video, / on the outro, is to give it a good wash. I don't have my friend Brian here anymore, so I gotta do it myself using my detailing gear, but it is dirty, so we're gonna wash it. Let's do some before and after. And that is what a driven SLR looks like. Look at all those bugs. It's amazing. Ah. And like these also catch the unique shape of the mirrors. These catch a ton of bug splatter, the windscreen. The rest of the car's fine, and again, those wheels really never get that dirty. But these really catch the bugs. But for real though, the car looks great. Cleans up so nicely and easily with the PPF and the ceramic coating and the clear bra. One more casualty here. We lost part of the M. It's now a McLaren. Get it? Two parting thoughts here. One, I've already driven the car twice since getting home. So unlike a lot of other exotic or special cars where you're sick of it after a 6-hour drive, I was excited to get back in it the next day, and I'm excited to take it to Cars and Coffee again this Saturday. So this car is just so drivable and so usable. I absolutely love that. Two, this SLR gets a bad rap for the maintenance costs and how expensive it is to do everything and the brake rotors and so on. I think the problem here is if you go to a Mercedes dealership and you get a quote to fix anything, they charge outrageous prices. 13 grand for an alternator and a month to fix it. So yes, if that were what I was getting and that was my information source, I too would think the SLR is an absolute ripoff to maintain and keep roadworthy. Even by Murcielago standards, that's absurd for a non-engine out service. In an American car, I would expect that to be like a $300 part max and maybe a couple hours of labor, but like in and out and under $1,000. On an exotic or sport supercar, like maybe a couple grand, but not $13,000 in a month for a simple alternator job. So the problem isn't necessarily this car is expensive to maintain, as we learned. It's that the Mercedes dealership wants to just gouge your face off anytime something goes wrong and want to squeeze every penny they can out of you, which is ridiculous, and shame on you, Mercedes. Indy fixed it for 2.4. I got another Indy quote from my boys HD for 3.4, but like, this is a couple grand job, but it's not a $13,000 1-month job. So Mercedes, you're creating a bad reputation for yourselves. Knock it off. Charge a fair rate for the parts. The SLR, and the reason they can do this, and maybe this is just individual dealers and not the OEM, is that there's no book time for any of these jobs. It just says it's up to you, whatever you want to charge. So I think they size people up and say, he drives an SLR, he came for Barrett Jackson and RM for Arizona Car Week, and he's in a pinch, we can charge him whatever we want. So that stinks, but the car does not deserve the bad rap. That is unfortunately the dealer network that does. So if you have an SLR, take it to an Indy, save yourself 10 grand on an alternator and probably similar magnitudes. I mean, that's 5x difference going to the dealer and just paying whatever they say it should cost, which maybe some people are rich enough to do, but good gosh, I would never say yes to that.